The final round at the CME Group Tour Championship in Naples, Florida, did far more than simply crown a tournament winner. It fundamentally rewrote the history books of professional golf, shifting the tectonic plates of the sport in a way that will be felt for decades. On this unforgettable Sunday, the atmosphere at Tiburon Golf Club was electric, heavy with the suffocating weight of history. The air was thick, not just with the humid Florida heat, but with a palpable anticipation that rippled through the gallery ropes. Every spectator, every caddy, and every official knew they were witnessing something rare. As Jeeno Thitikul stood over her final putts, she was poised to shatter a record the golf world once believed was untouchable. A statistical mountain that many experts, historians, and players thought would stand forever. It was a record held by the immortal Annika Stam since 2002, a benchmark set before Jeeno was even born. For over 2 decades, that number 68, 697, loomed over the LPGA Tour like a ghost. It was the Diageo hit streak of women's golf, a figure that mocked anyone who dared to chase perfection. To beat it required not just a great week or a great month, but a year of flawlessness. The magnitude of the moment was so seismic that even Nelly Korda, the undisputed face of American golf and the world's most recognizable female player, couldn't hold back her all. This was not merely a victory lap for a rising star. This was a direct hit on the archives of the sport. Jeeno Thitikul has not just arrived. She has established a new standard of greatness, redefining what is possible in the modern era. Way to end the season than with a win from the world number 1, Jeeno Thitikul. Incredible. Incredible. Extremely happy for sure to be able to, defend the titles in an unreal par save on 14. That is a great looking shot. Pretty much what she did last year. Help Shaw. Don't think because she can carry that right bunker today. Jeeno goes back-to-back at the CM World Tour Championship, playing like there was never a doubt. At just 22 years old, Jeeno has accomplished what generations of superstars' names like Lorena Ua, Yanni Singh, Inbee Park, and Lydia Ko have tried and failed to do for over 20 years. With a brilliant, nerve-wracking final round of 68, she didn't just secure the gleaming trophy in the confetti shower, she cemented a seasonal, long scoring average of 68. To the casual observer, that number might look like a simple line in a box score, a collection of digits that blend into the background. But in the world of elite golf, its meaning is massive. It represents a level of consistency that borders on the robotic. It means that on average, every single time she stepped onto a tee box in 2024, she was 3 to 4 shots better than par. By posting that number, she officially eclipsed Annika Stam's iconic 68, 697 set during her legendary 11-win season in 2002. That 2002 season is widely regarded as the single most dominant performance in the history of women's golf, a year where Stam seemed to be playing a different sport than her competitors. For 22 years, that number stood as a myth, a barrier no one could break. It was the impossible number, a relic of a bygone era of absolute dominance. Critics argued that with courses getting longer and fields getting deeper, a scoring average that low was no longer feasible. Jeeno Thitikul didn't just chase that ghost. She caught it, stared it down, and surpassed it. She proved that perfection is still attainable even in the modern power-focused game. Nelly Korda's reaction to this feat was nothing short of pure, unfiltered respect. Korda, who has carried the torch for the LPGA with grace and ferocious dominance throughout 2024, was asked immediately after her roundabout Jeeno's historic achievement, standing by the scorer's tent, wiped out from a long, grueling season that saw her reach the highest highs and endure physical exhaustion. She didn't hesitate. She didn't offer a generic PR soundbite or a polite nod. Her reaction spoke volumes about the magnitude of the accomplishment. "Yeah, it's quite amazing," Korda said, shaking her head in disbelief, a wry smile acknowledging the sheer difficulty of maintaining such a low average over an entire year. She knows the grind. She knows the days when the back hurts, the swing feels off, and the wind is howling. Great talent, great player. It's fun to see her craft up close. To break a record from 2002, it's crazy. It just tells you that the greats don't come along too often. In that singular moment, with one sentence, the face of the LPGA acknowledged that Jeeno Thitikul has entered the realm of all-time greatness. This is more than just competition. This is a rivalry rooted in deep, profound respect. It is competition fueled by admiration. It is the sight of two superstars pushing one another onto historic paths. Korda knows better than anyone the mental toll required to stay at the top, making her endorsement of Thikul's craft the ultimate seal of approval. When the world number one calls your performance crazy in the best possible way, it cements your status as a legend in the making. When Jeeno was finally told she had officially broken Annika's record, her response was humble, emotional, and devastatingly honest. The adrenaline of the unprecedented $4 million payout had barely subsided. When the realization of history hit her, there was no arrogance, only gratitude and a touch of disbelief. Standing on the 18th green, surrounded by cameras and the glittering CME Globe trophy, she even joked with a nervous, charming smile. "I hope Annika won't be angry about that." It was a moment of levity that underscored her youth, yet belied the assassin-like focus she had displayed for 4 days. But as the reality set in, her voice revealed how much this moment truly meant to her legacy. "To be honest, I didn't think about that at all," she admitted, referencing the crushing pressure of the finale, where every stroke could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. The Vare Trophy is what every player wants because it means you were the best all year. And now she has claimed the prestigious Vare Trophy for the second time before her 23rd birthday. Only the true legends of the sport, names like Nancy Lopez, Annika Sorrento, and Carrie Webb, achieve such consistency at such a young age. To win a tournament requires a hot putter for 4 days. To win the Vare Trophy requires brilliance for 12 months. It is the ultimate test of a golfer's soul. This was truly the season of Jeeno. It was dominance redefined. Jeeno Thitikul didn't just win tournaments, she controlled the rhythm of the entire sport. Her list of accolades for the year is staggering, reading like a career summary for most players rather than a single season's work. She won the Tour Championship. She captured the Vare Trophy. She shattered a 23-year-old scoring record. She secured Player of the Year honors, and she took home the record-breaking $4 million prize, the largest single-event payout in the history of women's golf. To put the financial stakes in perspective, every single putt on Sunday was worth more than most people make in a month. Yet she played as if she were in a casual practice round with friends. The pressure of the money, which has skyrocketed thanks to the investment of sponsors like CME Group, adds a layer of psychological torture to the game that did not exist in Sorenstam's era. To break a scoring record while playing for that kind of life-changing wealth makes the feat even more impressive. Jeeno didn't just play golf. She walked a tightrope over a canyon of gold and never wavered. Perhaps most impressively, she did all of this after overcoming a painful thumb injury that sidelined her at the start of the year. The narrative of her season is one of resilience. For months, she sat at home in Thailand, watching others compete, filled with questions about whether she could return to form or if her swing would be compromised forever. Hand injuries are notorious career killers in golf. The touch, the feel, the grip pressure, it all changes. To return from injury, revamp her game, trust her body, and play at a historic level isn't just the mark of a champion. That is the mark of a generational superstar. She missed the first few months of the season watching Nelly Korda go on a historic winning streak. Yet, she didn't panic. She prepared. The future of women's golf isn't coming. It is already here. With her record-breaking year, stunning consistency, and back-to-back CME titles, Jeeno Thitikul has made one thing abundantly clear. She isn't chasing history anymore. She is creating it, and the entire world is watching. Meanwhile, the context of Nelly Korda's season adds another layer of drama to this narrative, creating a fascinating dichotomy at the top of the world rankings. Korda has experienced a remarkable, albeit roller coaster year on the LPGA Tour. While she struggled late in the year to pick up a final victory, her early season dominance cannot be forgotten. Korda claimed an incredible 7 wins on the LPGA Tour in 2024, a winning streak that drew comparisons to the legends of old like Byron Nelson and Mickey Wright. For the first half of the year, Korda was invincible. She was the Tiger Woods of the LPGA, turning up to tournaments that felt over before they began. However, frustration mounted as the year closed. The physical and emotional toll of the streak began to show. Minor injuries, a nagging neck issue, and the sheer exhaustion of carrying the mantle of world number 1 interrupted her progress. The pressure to be the face of the tour, to do every interview, to sign every autograph wears a player down. She failed to carry her early momentum into the current campaign's conclusion, leaving the door ajar for a new challenger to storm through. The narrative shifted from "can anyone beat Nelly" to "who can survive the season?" With Kauai in the field for this week's CME Group Tour Championship, many eyes were already turning toward the future in the 2025 and 2026 LPGA Tour seasons. Fans, sponsors, and pundits alike were looking for a sign of what the future hierarchy of golf would look like. Would CA reign supreme as the solitary queen, or was a new era dawning? Was the tour destined for a monopoly or a duopoly? The way Jeeno Thitikul won the CME Group Tour Championship with a big margin, a calm demeanor, and nerves of steel provided the emphatic answer. She showed she didn't just look into this moment. She deserved it from the starting day. She displayed a different kind of dominance than Korda. While Korda overpowers courses with her athleticism and length, Jeeno dissects them with surgical precision and an unflappable temperament. G is the smiling assassin, a player who can make a bogey and laugh it off only to birdie the next 3 holes. As the tour looks ahead, the dynamic has shifted. It is no longer just the Nelly Korda show. It is a battle of titans. We are witnessing the birth of a rivalry that could sustain the sport for the next decade. On one side, the American superstar with the perfect swing and the athletic pedigree. On the other, the Thai prodigy with the historic consistency in the mental fortress. The 2024 season will be remembered as a tale of 2 halves. The year Cord admitted his start, scorching the earth with 7 wins, but Jeeno owned the finish, rewriting the history books along the way. As the sun set over Naples and the grandstands emptied, the significance of the day began to settle in. We often talk about growing the game, but moments like this, where records are broken and rivalries are forged, are what actually do it. Jeeno proved that the ceiling of women's golf is higher than anyone thought. She took a number that was 22 years old, a number that had gathered dust in the record books, and wiped it clean. In doing so, she didn't just win a tournament. She challenged every player coming after her to be better. The standard has been raised. The torch has not just been passed, it has been ignited into a bonfire. And as we look toward 2025, one thing is certain. The LPGA Tour has never been more exciting, more competitive, or more historic.